Before she walks off the stage, I want her to understand why, for certain, she has this job. First of all, I know I get criticized by the other team for being the most pro-union president in history. And you're on this job because that woman said hire local. Anyway, thank you.
Thank you.
Before I begin, let me say a few words quickly about today's report on inflation. Americans are squeezed by the cost of living. It's been true for years, and folks don't need a report to tell them they're being squeezed. Fighting this battle every day is the key reason why I ran for President of the United States. The way I think about it is the way my dad used to talk about it. And he'd say, you know, after the end of the month, when you get your paycheck, after the end of the month, you have enough to pay for everything you owe, all your bills, and would you have a little left for some breathing room, just a little bit of breathing room. And that's my view of what is important and critical. And a lot of people are hurting these days. And today's report shows, though, some progress. Overall, inflation was 2% over the last 3 months. That's down from 11% over the prior 3 months. That's progress, but a lot of it is a result of getting the cost of living at the gas pump down by more, not even in California now, by more than $1 nationally, and since the start of this summer. And there's a big difference for working folks. But the price of gas is still too high, and we need to keep working to bring it down. And I'll have more to say about that next week. We also need to make more progress bringing down the prices across the board. That's why I just couldn't disagree more with my Republican friends who say the biggest problem in our economy right now is that working folks are making too much money. The biggest problem is the world's challenge, global inflation and the pandemic and Putin's unconscionable invasion of Ukraine. Here's the deal. Because of my economic plan, we are better positioned than any other major economy in the world to weather the challenges and come through this as a stronger country. We've created nearly 700,000 manufacturing jobs just in the last 19 months. Businesses are investing here in America at record rates. They see what I see, the resilience of the American people and the potential of building an economy from the bottom up and the middle out. Look, when the middle does well and the bottom has a chance, the wealthy do very well. They never get hurt. I'm so tired of trickle down, I'm finished with it. So we're going to keep at it by taking on big pharma and the insurance companies, especially the health insurance companies. With the help of Democrats in Congress here today, I signed the Inflation Reduction Act, which gave Medicare the power that we've been trying to get for the last 30 years, the power to negotiate lower prescription drug prices. We pay the highest drug prices of any nation in the world. For seniors on Medicare, we're capping the cost of prescription drugs at $2,000 a year, even if they're using the most expensive cancer drug in the world. We're capping the cost of insulin. The Republican platform so far for this off-year election, led by Senator Scott from down in Florida, as well as the Senator Johnson from up in Wisconsin. And you know what they argue? This is on paper, that in fact we should be in a situation where Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid should have to be voted on every single year. Well, there were 55 American corporations made $40 billion in 2020, did not pay a single penny, not a penny in federal tax. So I was so harsh. I suggested they pay 15%, less than you pay. 15% to pay for all this, and it's paying for it. But guess what? My Republican colleagues think that's unfair. They want to repeal that tax. Folks, you know, Republicans are going to make you, working middle-class folks, pay higher taxes than the biggest corporations. And by the way, in every single piece of legislation I've gotten passed with the help of the people here, we have not raised the tax on anybody making less than $400,000 a year, 1 penny. I wish I was making 400. You were making 400 grand, but not a single penny. No, I mean it, not a single penny. The last 8 years or so, America, infrastructure, your bridges, the rails, everything. You know where we're rated in the world, the most powerful nation in the world? Number 13. 13 in the world, the United States of America. Where do businesses come to invest? Where they can get their products out of the port, when they get their products out of the yard, when they can have access. The power to take care of the fleets of new electric vehicles. It's called the bipartisan infrastructure law. And by the way, some Republicans vote for it. About a third of them voted for it and got it passed, and I thank them for that. There's no better example of what's happening than right here in Los Angeles. Nearly 10 million people live in LA County. I have to tell you that. More than any county in the United States. And every year, people take more than 22 million rides on your subways, your light rail, and your buses. It's how so many folks get to work, school, and how tourists and locals explore this world-class city. But the transit system needs an upgrade badly. You know that. 7,000 fewer car rides every day. It's going to affect pollution in a significant positive way. 124,000 fewer tons of carbon dioxide pumped into the air above Los Angeles every year. 124,000. That's what it takes out of the air. Nearly 14 million gallons of gasoline saved. And it's easier to commute for 500,000 people who come to work every day in Century City or elsewhere on the west side. And I haven't. And we're going to bring fast and convenient public transportation options to one of the busiest travel corridors in America. Folks, diesel exhaust can really affect people's health. That's why we've been helping school districts all across the country, I might add, electrify their school buses to keep kids and avoid childhood asthma. And now we're going further. We're building a new 4-lane road to the Port of LA to make it easier for trucks to drive up to the container terminal, load up their goods for transport, and the Port of Long Beach, one of the busiest container ports in the nation. We're going to deepen the channel so ships can move in and out of that harbor faster. And folks, this is going to make our supply chains more efficient, make trade quicker and easier, and reduce air pollution. The headline was, quote, Republicans called Biden's infrastructure program socialism. And then they asked for more money, end of quote. At my church, they bless me, Father, for I have sinned. But look, the report describes Republicans in detail, I'm not going to mention their names, who voted against the infrastructure bill, called me and it socialist. And Speaker Pelosi says they vote no and then they take the dough. Can't make this stuff up. I got to say, I'm surprised to see there are so many socialists in the Republican caucus. Even if they voted against it, I said, I promised during my campaign I'd be president for all of America, every American. Whether you voted for me or not, I'm not leaving anyone behind. And we're building a better America together for everyone, even in districts and congressmen who voted against it. God bless you all, and may God protect our troops.